Well, it's the newest holiday on the federal calendar. Juneteenth falls on June 19th. It became a national holiday just last year when President Biden signed it into law. Emancipation Day or Freedom Day or Jubilee Day or Black Independence Day, depending on your location. Well, that was yesterday on the calendar, but today for those who take the day off. Idaho joined in the recognition of Juneteenth, allowing state workers a paid holiday, also last year. The 19th of June, 1865, that was the day Union troops arrived in Galveston, Texas, and officially liberated 250,000 enslaved blacks in Texas. 2.5 years after President Abraham Lincoln signed and issued an Emancipation Proclamation. The Lone Star State was the last stop for that Union troop Southern State tour, and there in Galveston, Major General Gordon Granger issued General Orders No. 3. Since that day, Juneteenth has been celebrated as an important piece of black history and culture in our country. For those outside that culture, though, there's still a few questions about the new national holiday. And we got this email from Art Ball this morning. I agree we should celebrate the end of slavery in the U.S. However, wouldn't December 6th, the ratification of the 13th Amendment, be a more appropriate date than June 19th? Well, the 13th Amendment abolished slavery in the United States, and it was ratified by the states on December 6, 1865, as we mentioned, nearly 6 months after June 19th. But as we said, slavery was ended in the rebellious states on January 1st, 1863, with that Emancipation Proclamation. And that proclamation still took 2.5 years to make it to Texas. Well, actually, it didn't. You see, they all knew about the emancipation in Texas. There was just nobody there to enforce it. That is, until those Union troops showed up and General Order No. 3 was issued, which said, this is what it said: the people are informed that in accordance with the proclamation from the executive of the United States, all slaves are free. That's what it said. All slaves are free. It was 93 words in total, this order. But nearly half of them actually urged these former slaves to kind of stick around and work as hired hands for their former masters, believe it or not. So I asked this question of Philip Thompson. He's the executive director of Idaho's Black History Museum, whether we should be celebrating December 6th over June 19th, and his answer was this: well, the ending of slavery is the realization of what the 13th Amendment promised actually being delivered, aside from the fact that people were still enslaved on Indian reservations. So what he's saying is basically the 13th Amendment actually didn't end slavery in the United States completely. There were still black slaves on Indian reservations until 1866, believe it or not. It took another treaty to get that taken care of. So Juneteenth, like we said, is a day within the black community that has a special meaning to those within the black community. And no disrespect, Art, but this is their day, not necessarily for the rest of us. And it's one the rest of us should just kind of respect. You know, take part in it, learn about it, see how it is celebrated and what the meaning of it actually is. But I guess the question should be, haven't we already kind of co-opted enough by making it a national holiday and giving those who knew little about it up to about a year ago a day off? Do we need to get our hands into this too? All right, several Idaho cities and counties are observing Juneteenth today, which includes federal buildings, some city and county offices, banks, even some retail stores. But not everyone closed their doors today. The city of Nampa, well, their employees didn't have the day off. Instead, they're going to treat it like a floating holiday, and they're going to push it until December 23rd. That's the day they're going to get it off. The City of Eagles offices were open today, as were the offices in the city of Cuna, but they gave their employees the option to take the day off, and it's completely legal. According to the Idaho Association of Counties, no county is obligated to observe or even recognize federal holidays, something Idaho County commissioners asked about back in October. And a lot of people on social media fired up. During a county meeting on October 19th, commissioners discussed the possibility of adding Juneteenth to their 2022 calendar. But you see, that posed a problem. According to the meeting minutes, if they observed the holiday, it would mean delaying the close of tax day for second half collections. Though the county treasurer did not have a problem delaying it, that deadline, by 1 day, Chairman Skip Brandt did and asked for an opinion from the Idaho Association of Counties. During the next meeting a week later, the Idaho Association of Counties said they did not have to observe the holiday, so they decided to not add it to their calendar. That's kind of how that all went down. And during their next meeting a week later, the Idaho Association of Counties said they did not have to observe it, so that's what went. So what was the problem with this whole thing? In an email to the Lewiston Tribune back in late October, Chairman Brandt said this: in this woke movement world, I recognize that I am a white male, thus there is nothing I can do to not be called a racist. That's debatable. Plus, I have never and will never slack away from doing what I think is best for Idaho County We have enough recognized holidays in America. Americans need to get back to work, not find another excuse not to work. I'm not against anyone celebrating it, he said, but the real question, as I suggested today, is where are the holidays going to stop? That's according to Brandt. By the way, Governor Little ordered state offices closed on Friday in observance of the holiday.